John, in many ways, you established that at first as a president. You were one of the first small farmer, ex-part-time farmer presidents of the UFU after generations of big farmers doing the job. That was a shift in many ways.
It certainly was. I grew up on a small farm. Because I was growing up on a small farm, I also had a job as well. But I was interested in farming. I was particularly interested, in the way farming was beginning to progress. And the effects of being in the European Union had meant a lot to small farmers, because straight away we were actually getting a bit more reward through support of various kinds. And at that particular time, I was there from 91 to 93. At that particular time, we were involved very much in the reform of the CAP. Also, we were very much involved in the renewal of the Objective 1 region. Now, the Objective 1 regions, I think it came in 1987, and it was there for countries where the GDP was below a certain figure, and ourselves in the south of Ireland met that criteria. The result was that we got a lot of support that maybe the larger areas didn't get. And because of that, it meant that a lot of small farms were able to progress, and rather than live on the breadline, they were now at a stage where they could take an interest in their farms, improve their farms. And all in all, it was an interesting period. When we finished up with the reform of the CAP, around about the end of that particular year, and I remember at the end of that particular year, 91, there was a big move on then in Brussels to get the thing tidied up. I remember the French were looking for more money in durum wheat, and the Italians were looking for more money in milk. I remember at that time we got quite a bit more money in sheep and sheep subsidy at that particular time. We had interesting meetings of people, and as I told you, Peter Brook came down to our farm, and we, as you know, Richard, we lived in a pretty remote area right in the top of the hills, and it is cattle and sheep country. And again, that gave you more of an interest to just try to move on and help them was going. And the interesting thing was that we were able to get money that was available for support for sucker cows and sheep and so on. And it meant that those years in the early 90s improved quite a bit. And then of course, what we had, I think it was around 96, was the whole mad cow disease fiasco, and that to a certain extent put a blanket on it. But all in all, I would say this, that the European Union did us a lot of good in that particular area, and did all small farmers a lot of good.